Good morning. It's Monday, August 28th, 2023. This is your Georgia WeatherNet morning update. We're going to spend most of our time talking about tropical storm and soon-to-be Hurricane Idalia. First of all, the radar this morning at 7:33 showing some significant rain in northeast Georgia from Conyers up to Athens into Lake Hartwell, and that's moving from south to north, as you can see. So that's some pretty warm, humid air coming up from the south. We see a few showers along the Georgia coastline as well. So, again, some very warm, humid air circulating in to Georgia as we move through the morning hours. Not really necessarily connected directly to Idalia, but you can get an idea of the steering currents, which is going to help push the storm our direction eventually as we move over the next couple of days. So as for right now, here we are, Tropical Storm Idalia, very, very close to being a Cat 1 hurricane. By the time you watch this video, that storm may already be upgraded to a Category 1, and some of the models showing that this could turn into a Category 3 before it's all said and done, making landfall up into the Florida Gulf Coast. So this is going to be a very powerful storm. Not a lot of room that it's going to have to travel there before it reaches land, but that's some very warm water, very unsettled. So we're going to expect it to ramp up its intensity very quickly. And the other situation here, as the storm crosses Florida, it's pretty much picking the spot with very little land between the Gulf and the Atlantic. So we may see this storm continue to be a hurricane all the way through southeast Georgia. Could weaken to a tropical storm before getting back out into the Atlantic, and then it's going to linger out there for a couple of days. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to be talking about Idalia possibly for the next week or more, and then hopefully we'll just get that to move up into the north waters of the Atlantic and then fizzle out, not be a threat, not loop back around and come see us again. Let's take a look at closer in the state of Georgia. This has the cone of uncertainty as well, so keep in mind the center of the storm could be anywhere within this cone. More than likely, it's going to stay on track. The European models have been doing a great job forecasting where this storm was planning on going. So far, it's been following the script, and so we expect the center of the storm to move into extreme southeast Georgia. Remember, the bad side of the storm is going to be that right front quadrant. That's where we're going to get the strongest winds, the threat of tornadoes, heavy rain. The good side of the storm still going to bring some rain, but it's going to be the inflow side. It's going to be pulling in more of the drier air, so that's really going to be covering southwest Georgia up toward Macon and Atlanta, but we're really going to be watching southeast Georgia, especially along the Georgia coastline. So let's take a look at our threat map. This really hasn't changed a lot since put this up yesterday. The highest threat is going to be along the coast, down into Brunswick, the Golden Isles, and really in South Georgia from Valdosta east. Moderate threat, so some showers and some gusty winds possible up into Statesboro, stretching back toward Tifton and maybe into Albany. And then the threat's fairly low. Just going to put that on there just in case the storm center actually wiggles a little bit, which is possible. That does happen. It's hard to get these forecasted exact, but if that happens, we'll just continue to update our maps as we move toward Wednesday. So let's take a look at the modeling. We'll go with the European modeling because it's been the best so far, and so we'll just stick with that. Head through the day today. We're just going to see some showers and thunderstorms around. A few could be strong to severe up in North Georgia and in parts of metro Atlanta, but continuing through the mid-morning hours, there you go. There are those showers, thunderstorms this afternoon, and then at 5 o'clock, thunderstorms around Atlanta up in the North Georgia. We'll just advance through overnight tonight. Again, not a whole lot to see here other than our typical showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow, very unsettled atmosphere, lots of humidity, so we're going to see these thunderstorms pop up throughout the state. This is 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We head toward tomorrow evening, still around. Let's go ahead and head into Wednesday. So Wednesday morning down in Valdosta, you can start to see that consistent rain coming in. That's part of the main rain shield, part of Idalia moving in over Florida and then continuing to head northbound. Should be making landfall early Wednesday morning and then pushing in the heavier rain in the South Georgia by 8 a.m. And you can see those rain bands extend all the way up into Augusta and north of I-20 just a bit. Very early Wednesday morning. Going to be a little breezy as well. Our strongest winds, which we'll take a look at in just a second, will be south and east of the center of the track. This is 11 a.m. Heavy rain in South Georgia. We're going to be watching out for some flooding in there. Savannah picking up some heavy rain as well as we head into Wednesday afternoon. This is 2 p.m. Center of the storm. This is not going to be exact, but according to this modeling, will be right up around, looks like around Blackshear, and then moving in toward Camden County and just north of Camden County, and then continuing up towards Savannah. So the center of the storm could be right over Savannah as we move into Wednesday afternoon. This is going to be 8 p.m., continuing to push to the northeast, and by 11 o'clock Wednesday night, the bulk of the storm is out of here. Still going to see some wind on the backside, and we'll take a look at our wind gust expected as we reload up this model. So again, this is the European model. All the different models have a different output, but moving through the day today, we'll just kind of skip through that. Yeah, it's going to be breezy at times. Tomorrow, here's where that wind starts in as we go into Wednesday morning. 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts by 8 a.m. in Valdosta. St. Mary's, 33. Watch the wind in St. Mary's as we head into Wednesday afternoon. 57-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very gusty down in extreme southeast Georgia toward Jacksonville, but still very windy, even in the southwest part of the state. Again, we're going to be close enough to the storm there that Albany could be picking up those 32-mile-an-hour wind gusts by Wednesday afternoon. Then we continue into Wednesday evening, still very windy, so several hours of strong, sustained winds, and then those gusts on top of that for the Georgia coastline. So that's going to be one of the main things we're going to be looking out for, just how many hours we're going to be dealing with those strong winds along the Georgia coast. So still showing 57 for St. Mary's, 46-mile-an-hour wind gusts for Savannah Wednesday evening. This is going to be 2 o'clock Thursday morning. As I mentioned, we'll be on the backside of the storm by this time, but still the wind kicking up. Statesboro 37, still in the mid-40s in Savannah. And finally, the wind calming down by daybreak on Thursday. So we're going to start feeling some of the breeze as early as Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening for South Georgia. Rain's going to be there, whether it's associated with the storm or not, over the next several days. But really, the strongest wind, the heaviest rain, will start moving in on Wednesday morning, continue through the day on Wednesday, and will finally be in the clear by Thursday morning. So about 24 hours that we're going to need to remain weather aware as we get this storm through. Let's take a look at the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. For today, level 1 out of 5 risk, as I mentioned, Metro Atlanta, all of North Georgia, most of Middle Georgia. On Tuesday, not a whole lot going on, just very unsettled with those showers and thunderstorms. Level 1 risk in southeast Georgia. And for now, it looks like a level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk for the Georgia coastline down to the Okefenokee just east of Valdosta with that level 2 out of 5 risk. That may be expanded just a little bit. We may get that upgraded between now and Wednesday, but we'll just keep an eye on that for you. So that is the very latest on Idalia. We'll continue to keep you up to date right here throughout the day and over the next couple of days as the storm gets closer. Here's your local forecast now from Northwest Georgia to Southeast Georgia.